Let me start by telling you about Rocky. His real name was Levi Stone, but nobody called him that. At 67 years old, with a big handlebar mustache that curled like it had a life of its own, he looked like he walked straight out of an old western. I met him in the kitchen at Spirit Mountain Casino, where we both worked. He was quiet at first, but the minute he overheard me talking about gold dredging, his eyes lit up like a kid at Christmas. All winter long he tinkered in his garage, building himself a 3-inch dredge from scratch. Pipes, hoses, clamps, a motor he rebuilt twice. He was proud of that machine like it was his firstborn. By spring, he was itching to see if it would run. That's how we ended up headed to Willamina Creek on a cool, bright morning, his dredge rattling around in the back of his truck. When we got there, the creek was running clear and cold, with that perfect steady flow you hope for when you're testing new equipment. Rocky fired up his dredge, and when the motor came to life, he grinned so wide his mustache almost wrapped around his ears. I showed him a stretch of creek where the black sand piled up thick, the kind of spot that usually hides a little color. He worked that area for a couple hours straight, like a man who'd been mining his whole life instead of just one morning. When he finally shut it down, he lugged over about half a 5-gallon bucket of concentrates. While he wasn't looking, I reached into my pocket and pulled out a 1-gram nugget I'd been saving, about half the size of a pea, but bright as the sun. I tossed it into his bucket and kept a straight face. Then came the best part, teaching him to pan. His first few pans were sloppy, but he was learning. The black sand swirled, the lighter stuff washed out, and he was getting the feel for it. On his 4th pan, he tapped the gold into the corner, and froze. Then he screamed, not just a shout, a full-on yell that echoed up the creek. There it sat, that little nugget, glowing like a light bulb in the sun. He held the pan up in disbelief, hands shaking. I couldn't hold it in. I started laughing. Rocky looked at me, then at the nugget, then back at me, and the smile disappeared from his face. "You son of a," he barked, half mad, half still riding the excitement. But after a minute, he broke into a grin so big it pushed his mustache up like a fuzzy awning. "That was the best damn feeling I've had in years," he said. And that was the start of our dredging adventures. Please subscribe.